Hello, and thank you all for being here. I am so glad to join you for Virginia Interfaith Center's Virtual Days for All People, and I especially want to recognize the leaders of the Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy for your advocacy. I want to thank VICPP for its leadership on two key issues. Over the last few years, you have worked on legislation to better protect Virginia workers against wage theft. Collectively, these bills will go a long way to help hardworking Virginians and demonstrate that this Commonwealth can be a great place for both businesses and workers. And together, with your partner, Virginia Interfaith Power and Light, you have helped make environmental justice the policy of our Commonwealth. We are putting in place a framework that will look at how environmental decisions impact different communities, especially low-income and Black and Brown communities. But we know this is just the beginning, and I look forward to continuing this work together to ensure environmental justice is addressed and understood. I also want to thank VICPP for anchoring the religious community as part of key coalitions that advanced important efforts like raising the minimum wage, passing comprehensive predatory lending reform, and providing driver privilege cards to give all Virginia residents the ability to legally drive a vehicle and obtain a valid ID regardless of their immigration status. And when the federal government has failed to issue comprehensive workplace safety standards in response to the pandemic, we stepped up to strengthen protections for Virginia workers. The Commonwealth adopted an emergency temporary standard in July, becoming the first state in the country with enforceable pandemic workplace safety requirements. I want to thank all of the advocates, community members, and leaders who have engaged on this issue. Your voices have been extremely important. VICPP has also been a great partner in helping us get the word out about resources for families that are struggling during this health crisis, how to register and vote amid the pandemic. And now that vaccinations are underway, you are supporting our efforts to get information to people about getting vaccinated. And you are elevating key issues in this General Assembly, from paid sick days and abolishing the death penalty to removing the farm worker exemption from the minimum wage, heat stress for farm workers, maternal health for immigrant women, water as a human right, and a study on public transportation. You can continue to lift up the concerns of those in need in ways that make us a stronger, fairer, and more equitable Virginia. As governor, I have a responsibility to look out for all Virginians, but I also believe I have a special duty to help the Virginians who are most in need. I ran for office because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to influence the direction of our Commonwealth, and I know that you advocate for justice issues for many of the same reasons. You want to help people, and you want our policies to reflect our shared values. You want the voices of marginalized populations to be heard in the halls of the legislature. Sometimes change can be painfully slow. Just think about how long it took us to pass Medicaid expansion. But if we really care about helping people, we need to be involved. And from mobilizing your congregations and faith groups to write, call, and email their legislators to providing a steady presence at hearings, debates, and rallies, the Virginia Interfaith Center was with us every step of the way. It's also important to remember that organizations like the Virginia Interfaith Center can help make you more effective advocates by providing education, resources, and strategic direction. My team has had the honor of working with many of the key VICPP staff over the years, and I am deeply grateful for your continued partnership. We are at a critical time for our country and for our Commonwealth, and our administration remains committed to advancing policies that will help Virginians navigate the next phase of this health crisis and position Virginia to recover as quickly as possible as we work to rebuild our economy in a post-pandemic world. Thank you so much for your advocacy and your involvement, and please continue to stay safe.